Did the Celtics prove they should have 3 All-Stars on their team after that big win over the Lakers? I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Joe Swipavone and Jimmy Toscano. At this point, guys, I think Kemba Walker and Jayson Tatum were pretty much locks as All-Stars this season.
Yeah, definitely.
Jaylen Brown has been on the cusp. There's been a lot of conversation about whether or not he should be an All-Star. I think if you talk to anyone on the Celtics, they say no question he should. He's been pretty consistent lately.
Especially Grant Williams.
But especially Grant Williams. But if you look at Monday's game against the Lakers, I mean, that dunk against LeBron James gives him a pretty good case
bonus points for that.
in of itself.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get more votes because of that.
Yeah. LeBron's not going to pick him first. Or maybe he will, actually.
I mean,
he doesn't want to repeat.
Trags told me that he thinks it's a big popularity contest, and that's going to get you some popularity. You're going to gain some momentum
National TV
when everyone sees that highlight. But unfortunately, Celtics fans, I'm not quite sure. I always say, if a team is going to send 3 All-Stars, you have to have the best record in your conference. And the Celtics, they're in a really tough spot, or at least top 2. Now, the Miami Heat, they're not going anywhere. They're still hanging around. They're right there. Celtics are, teetering between the 3rd and 2nd seed, and then they got 6 games ahead of them is the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not saying that they have to be number 1, but you have to be someone in the conversation, or at least on Milwaukee's heels, to send 3 All-Stars to the to All-Star Weekend to Chicago.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, I think if Jaylen Brown was on any other team, he's going to the All-Star game, right? It's just it's a numbers game at this point. It's 3 Celtics.
Yeah.
Some people are just like, no, you can't have 3 Celtics, so they're automatically writing him off.
Right.
Tatum's had such a great season, and Kemba's, the leader of this team for all intents and purposes. So he's in. He should be starting, by the way. And I think that Brown might be a last guy on the bubble out sort of situation.
We're talking March Madness.
I think, yeah, exactly. We're talking March
3
Madness.
players are
injured. I think he's deserving of it. I think he's deserving of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the committee is going to agree.
Well, now it's time. Obviously, Celtics fans want to hear all of our opinions about Kyrie Irving because
especially the YouTube comments.
You mentioned Kemba Walker and the fact that he should be starting in the All-Star game. Because not only his stats, he's been really consistent, but the way he leads, he's a great example across the league about what your point guard should be like, what your star player should be like. Kyrie Irving, on the other hand, does he deserve to start, or does he even deserve to be an All-Star when you look at his stats this season, never mind all the stuff he's been saying in the media?
I mean, Kyrie Irving doesn't deserve to be in the same state of the All-Star game. I mean,
Damn, Jimmy.
Okay, he hasn't played. I
agree.
He hasn't played.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why fans vote for him because when he is playing, he's electric.
He's good.
He's the best. You could arguably the best ball handler out there, and he's just so crafty with it. But you got to play, man.
Right.
I mean, you got to play. So I don't think he should be starting. And I know that he's in 2nd place right now. But Kemba Walker's right on his heels.
Yeah.
And I think that when the players and the coaches do their voting, I think Kemba's going to pass Kyrie.
As he should.
Yeah. And if that's the case, then now Kyrie Irving doesn't have to be named an All-Star, and I don't think he should. Not for anything off the court, but just strictly, you got to play, man.
Right.
And you haven't played enough. And when you are playing, here and there, but I mean, nothing All-Star worthy in my eyes this year.
I think if you look at his stats, you can obviously make a case, but he hasn't played even 20 games. That's half of the games that have been
strictly
played.
Based on merit.
Like, you got to play at least half of the games, and you have to be somewhat, around. He was out for so long. I feel like that just should diminish your chances.
And when he's out, he's out. Like, he is invisible. It's not like he's not really much of an ambassador for the game.
And I'm not saying this because of what he said.
Should his recent comments kind of downplaying his teammates and his team and saying they don't have enough pieces, they don't have the right roster to kind of make it to the playoffs or make a deep playoff run, should that count against him when it comes to All-Star voting?
I don't think it should.
I don't think any of his teammates are going to vote for him.
If it's a popularity contest, he's not that popular right now.
I don't think he's going to get many Brooklyn Nets votes. I mean, he traded half the team a week ago.
Yeah, but I don't.
Nobody left in that locker room.
Unfortunately, in the NBA and every other league, it's about what you do on the field or on the court. And he has been playing he plays well. His stats are enough to get him to the All-Star game. But again, if you're not playing enough games, I just don't think he deserves it.
Right.
I don't. And I
don't
know
think he's going to get the benefit.
People say it's about the fans, and that if that's who they want to see start, that's what they should get. But also, it's about what you've done, what you've put in, the time you put in. If that was the case, then we'd be having a conversation about Taco Fall when the first line of votes came in. So obviously the consumers or the fans don't always get it right.
I mean, of course, like the fans, do they want to see Kyrie Irving or Malcolm Brogdon? I get it.
Right.
I understand it. But Malcolm Brogdon's having a better season.
Yeah.
So where do you draw the line? Or, at what point is popularity more important than stats or how good you're playing? So
the All-Star game is also,
of course,
for money, for
it's a show.
fans. It's a show. So we get it if Kyrie's in, but if you talk to us, He doesn't deserve it.
Kemba's the starter.
I just think this has happened so much in the NBA where it's like when they say quote unquote 8-time, 9-time All-Star, I'm like, well, how many of those did that person make it over pure merit? You know, and this falls in that category for sure.
This Garden Report is brought to you by Car Shields. Call 800-CAR-6000 and mention code GARDEN, or go to carshield.com and use code GARDEN for 10% off. That's carshield.com. Use code GARDEN. For all the rest of our Celtics content, head to our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.